You there, boy. I tell you, can Eddie talk louder when you're doing an update? Even I was disturbed by that.
I say it all the time.
There
My
you go.
apologies.
Why do you think I'm cranking the volume in my headsets to drown out the sound?
I'm sorry.
Gosh,
I,
big hockey
I thought
show.
I was whispering. Yes,
The hockey show.
We're all wrapped
We're
up with that.
Well, I'm worried about the Masters. Good job, Steve. Have a
Yes,
good evening.
thank you,
We're
Chris.
looking forward to this conversation with our old buddy, Billy Andrade, who will join us these next couple of days on Monday. He does it because he likes us. Right, Billy? Nice to talk. How are you today, pal? Okay?
Christopher, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
How are you, my man?
I'm all right there, Billy. How you doing? Okay, pal?
I'm doing fantastic. You know, this is the time of year. You know, this weekend is kind of the jump start of the golf season. It's great to get all this great coverage by CBS and all the internet outlets. It's fun to watch, and we're having a pretty cool first round here.
All right, let me hear your analyze. Tiger looked tired to me. Let me hear your analyzation of his round today, the 1 over 73. Go ahead.
Yeah, when you shoot one over, Chris, on a place like Augusta National, I mean, it is it can beat you up. It's not an easy walk. It's very, very hilly. 42 years old. He hasn't played a lot of golf, obviously, in these last 5-6 years. So, you know, he's not going to give you any weakness. He's not going to say anything, you know, how he really truly feels. But, you know, by the look, you said it. You know, by the look on his face, you know, he looked like he went out there, he grinded. You know, he didn't have his top. He wasn't in top form, and that's what you have to do, especially in the first round of these majors, especially at Augusta. You have to just hang in there. And he did. You know, I mean, he didn't play great, didn't drive it great. 3 birdies, 4 bogeys, but, you know, and he said he didn't putt that well, but he still only had 28 putts for the day. Sloppy on the par 5s. If you know his statistics, you know, he's minus 146 under 146 for his career on the par 5s at Augusta.
Wow.
That's where he makes his hay. And today he was even par. So, you know, he's going to have to tidy it up tomorrow and get back in it, but he's not that far off, as you know.
What did you expect out of him? Did you think did you think he was a legitimate favorite? Do you think, if you're analyzing this properly, just being on the leaderboard on Sunday would be a nice accomplishment? What did you expect out of Tiger here this tournament?
You know, after watching what he did in Florida, you know, he didn't play very well, obviously, out in California. He scrambled it around at San Diego, and then he missed the cut at the Genesis in L.A., and then he came back in Florida, where, remember now, that's where he lives. So he's used to the Florida grass. He's got, you know, he practices on that flat Florida stuff, and he had a great run in Florida, which was very, very encouraging as a golf fan. I'm amazed at how quickly he's come back to a point where now we're talking like, can he, you know, he's one of these favorites in this tournament. And then going in, I thought, you know, what I've seen as far as his practice goes, he's ready to go. You know, but my concern always is his driver, and he didn't hit his driver much in Florida. You noticed he hit a lot of 3-woods, he hit a lot of irons off the tee. And at Augusta National, if you want to take advantage, especially the par 5s, you have to drive it and you have to drive it and play. You know, back in the day when I played, Chris, you know, I played in the 80s, the 90s, and a little bit in the 2000s. The golf course was much wider. You could get away with not driving it straight, but they put a ton of trees in on number 11, ton of trees to the right of 15, which is adjacent to 17. So the golf course is more of a driving course than you think. You know, everyone thinks, well, it's wide open, you can just kind of spray it anywhere. But as you saw him today, when you spray it at Augusta National, you're going to get yourself in trouble, and you're not going to have chances to make birdies.
Yeah, and he did struggle, and I didn't like the sign there at in Tampa when he hit a 2-iron off the tee on 18 when he was down by a stroke with a hole to go. That was a bad sign to me. He does not have enough confidence. You know, the putting, all right, comes and goes. He's putting well enough. Short game, we understand his iron play, we get that. But I just don't think he's got enough confidence in that 3-wood and the driver to win this event 4 solid days in a row. So I did not think he was going to win. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you got to understand though. Today 73 is not bad at the Masters. If you look at the history, the highest starts by Masters winners. You know, Stadler shot 75 in '82, Tiger shot 74 in 2005 and came back and won. Jose Maria and O'Meara, in the years they won, they shot 74 in the first round. And if you might add, Nicklaus in '86 and Nicklaus in 1963, Chris, he back and won. So you look at the leaderboard, you got 400s leading. You're only 5 back. That's nothing on this golf course with 3 rounds to go. So I don't think he's by any means, pumped up about shooting 73, but he didn't shoot himself out of the tournament like Sergio Garcia did.
Yeah, let's do that for a sec. Weiskopf did it. Tommy Nakajima did it, so it's doable. We all, all the pros have had those kind of holes. How about the 13? Go ahead.
Chris, you got to understand. I mean, this golf course, you have all these holes that have water on them. 12, 13, 15, 16. That's a golfer's nightmare. You have dreams at night that you sit there on 15 on a downhill lie that Sergio's got with that front hole location, and you start spinning it right off the green. I mean, he did what a lot of golfers have had in their dreams, and you hope that never happens to you. But it goes to show you how penal some of these hole locations are, and what they do at the Masters is the first 3 days of practice rounds. They leave the grass up high around the creeks and around the water hazards, and then on Wednesday afternoon, when everybody goes over with their family and play in the beautiful par 3 tournament, the grounds crew goes out and they shave all those things down. So in a practice round, Sergio could hit a couple of those shots and it might stay up. But now it's the tournament and it's different. They make it a little more severe, and shots, you could hit a pretty good shot and it can suck back in the water, and then all of a sudden you're packing your bags on Friday and you're out of town, which really stinks.
Now, is it unfair? I mean, it looked like at least one of the shots I saw looked like it was a perfect shot, and then it trickled down. I mean, do they make it almost miniature golfish at times by making it too tricky? Let me hear your thoughts on that.
Well, I mean, you have to pay attention. If you have that shot, he's going to have to take the spin off. Maybe don't, when you lay up, try not to lay it up where you get too close, where you hit a full shot. Maybe you want to hit a half shot and a no spin shot. It seemed like all his shots that he hit them right around pin high, and that was about 7-8 yards too short. He needed to hit it past the hole towards the back of the green and have it spin back. But it's unfortunate for him, But that goes to show you. It just kind of, all the players that see that, they know, when you get to a hole like 15, when you have a downhill lie with a wedge in your hand, you have to hit the perfect shot. If not,
you're in trouble, and he didn't hit it there. All right, Billy, Justin Thomas not good today. I'm down on him anyway for kicking the fan out at the Honda, so no loss to me. But +2 today for Justin Thomas. Everybody thought he'd be a big factor. What's your take on that?
Yeah, he had 3 birdies. He had 3 bogeys and a double, which means he was kind of up and down, which means, you're not totally confident in your game. You're a little off. I think playing early today was tough. It was cold this morning coming out of the gate. When it's cold, the greens are a little firmer. He's still right in it though. 2 overs is not going to kill him, but he has to come back, tomorrow with a statement round and get himself back in it. But this kid's had a hell of a run here, Chris. From the PGA a year ago when he won at Quail Hollow and Charlotte to what he's done this year so far, and he's leading the FedEx Cup. I mean, the guy's he's the real deal. And
yeah, it bothered me though. It bothered me.
Hell of a player.
Yeah, he is there, Billy. But it bothered me at the Honda. You don't kick a fan. I don't care what the fan said. Yeah, who the hell are you? You kick the fan out? That didn't bother you? You're a New Englander. That had to drive you crazy with what he did in that situation. No.
Well, I'm a New Englander, right? And I'm a Northeasterner. We got thick skin. We know how to deal with it. You go over to the guy, or we don't know the total situation. Was the guy completely, was he completely drunk? Was he been doing this? How many holes? I can't tell you. I never kicked out a fan, but I've had players in my group kick out fans when they were. It's the point. And if you get, you can't even walk, right? That's when you got to get people kicked out, or they're even talking now. I've heard stories maybe of stopping liquor sales, late in the day at some of these golf tournaments because of people getting so drunk. So it's not good. And I don't know the whole story there. I can't give you a yeah, that's ridiculous. But you got to have thicker skin as a player and just walk it off. And that's the way I was brought up anyway.
Yeah, indeed. All right, Spieth today with so far playing very well, and so is McIlroy, both around 2 under par in his back nine. Let me hear your take on those two. Go ahead.
They're both the best. When I was down at Augusta, who's picking who to win? Half the people are picking Rory to win. Half the people are picking Jordan to win. Spieth, he came a long way last week. He had a great tournament, got him back. It got his confidence back. It doesn't take great players long to get their confidence back when they've had a couple of weeks of not playing well. He didn't play well in the match play, his home state of Texas, and then he comes back with a great tournament last week and getting off to a good start. When you watch guys like Jordan, you see him, and when they're off a little, see how world class their short game is. He got a beautiful up and down on 10. He left it short of the green there. Up and down on 11. He missed the green to the right. Those kind of up and downs are the things that you do on a Thursday are reasons why you win on Sunday. Is that you do those little things, keep those rounds going. He hasn't made a bogey today. That goes to show you that he's very, very close to playing superb golf. And when you see that, you go, well, geez, there's no question in my mind that if he continues this kind of play, he's going to have a great chance on Sunday.
How about McIlroy? I used to think he's a little spooked out here on this golf course. So far, so good today. Give me your take on him. Let me hear.
3 top 10s in the last 3 years, and after leading the tournament and hitting almost hitting the AT&T hospitality house over there on 10 a few years back when he had a chance to win. But what he did coming back at Bay Hill and that back nine he put on and the putting display that he put on. When Rory McIlroy is on form, there's really nobody better. The guy is that talented. He drives it straight and long. He's one of the longest hitters on the tour. And a place like this is such an advantage. And he hardly ever misses a fairway. So he's in perfect position. And if he can get this putter hot this week, I would love to see him win. He's my favorite, just sentimentally. I'd love to see him win to get the Grand Slam. Not many players have done that, and he's good enough, obviously, and such a wonderful person too. He's a classy guy and a guy that you like to root for.
Yeah, he's had a lot to say about the American fan here. And I'll tell you the one thing that bothers me a little bit about him, the idea that he said earlier in the year that Tiger is at a stroke or two as a disadvantage.
That was ridiculous.
Yeah, that's stupid. Give me a big gallery. If you give me a big gallery, I'm going to play better if I got a lot of people watching me and root me on. That's a positive, not a negative, for crying out loud.
That's a rookie call right there, in my opinion. I don't think he's played much must not have played much with Tiger Woods back. He's only, remember that, what's Rory, 20, 25, 26?
About that, yep.
Yeah, so he hasn't played with Tiger back when Tiger was the number one player in the world like me. And I'll tell you what, I played with him a bunch. And, the first few times you play with him, it's a 2-3 shot penalty on me, not on him. He's used to playing with the circus, and he said that after the Genesis Open when he played with Justin Thomas and Rory played with Tiger. And Tiger had a bad week; he didn't play very well. That it's a 2-shot penalty for Tiger because the crowds are so crazy. Tiger's used to that. It's the opposite. Tiger knows it. Tiger is fed off of the gallery rooting for him, and I remember playing with him and many times where, I got a 4-footer, 5-footer for par. He makes his putt and everybody runs off, and you want to say, stand please, wait, hold please. And everybody's leaving, going to the next hole. And you have to deal with it and then say, okay, well, this is the way it's going to be. And you have to, and then like hitting shots into the green. He's always the last one to hit. He's much longer than me. So I'm the first one to hit. So you're getting ready to hit your shot and everybody's around the green or all moving around because they're all trying to get in a great position to watch Tiger hit his shot.
Good point.
So
yeah,
I totally agree with you. That I did not understand how these guys could say it was a detriment or it hurt Tiger.
It didn't get it.
Only can help Tiger, not hurt Tiger.
All right, give me the idea on the two guys, Finau and Lee. I don't know that. I know Finau. I've seen him a little bit. I don't know anything about Lee. Hopefully I'm pronouncing your names properly. Probably not. What's your take? They right now co-leaders. What can you tell me about those two?
And Hao Tong Lee. I don't know much about him, Chris. I do know that he shot 63 in the final round last year in the British Open for his third place in the tournament. So that was his best finish in a major. He's 22 years old. He's from Hunan, China. He's top 50 in the world, which means this kid's played well for a few years now. So, I mean, I don't really know much about him. The fact that if you're a top 50 player in the world by the world, golf rankings, you must be a hell of a player. And what he did today is pretty impressive in his first Masters. And Tony Finau, did you see what he did yesterday?
I heard that. I didn't see it. He hurt his ankle, right?
God.
Yeah, go ahead.
You gotta go. You gotta go YouTube that thing and check it out. His ankle dislocated. He makes a hole-in-one on 7 in the par 3 tournament. He starts running off the tee, running up the hill. He turns around and he sprains his ankle. His ankle goes in a hole, and you got to see it. He goes over and he pops his ankle back in. It's the craziest thing you've ever seen. So when you see that, you think, well, I mean, can the guy even? How can he walk on this golf course? And how can he play? And for him to do what he's doing is amazing. Tony Finau came out at 18 years old, Chris, 10 years ago, and I saw him play. My son came with me. We were playing the Greater Milwaukee Open in Milwaukee. They said this kid hits at 300 yards. Like he drives par fours. So we went out and I saw this kid hit his first drive on the PGA Tour, and he almost drove the green. The hole was downhill, 400-yard hole, the longest drive I've ever seen. He leads the tour in driving distance. He averages 321 yards, Chris. 321.
Right.
That's his average.
Right.
He's 28. He's from Utah. His best finish I saw was the U.S. Open in 2015. He finished 14th. He's having a great year this year. He's 34th in the world. Finished second in L.A. at the Genesis. Finished second at the Safeway in the fall. I don't know if he's good enough putter. I don't know if he can hold his emotions. A couple of wayward shots he hit were over the green on some iron shots, which means that's adrenaline. Can you keep your adrenaline intact? Can he sustain that? He's a great story. He's a great kid. But I don't know if his putting is strong enough to hold up.
And I just saw him hurt his ankle, so good job on your part there getting that done. Mickelson today, what'd you expect out of him? He's even par. He's kind of hovering. He's been in a little trouble off and on. Quickly on Phil, what's your take on that before we let you go?
Yeah, no, he's Phil being Phil. He's having this resurgence of the year. Winning the WGC tournament in Mexico, first win since the British Open. You look at the favorites coming into this golf tournament. He's one of the favorites, and he's hanging in there. He's right around where he needs to be. I've said this to you for years and years, Chris. You cannot win the Masters in the first round. Yeah, it's like baseball.
It's like baseball in April. You can't win the pennant in April, but you can lose it if you shoot a 78. Same kind of theme.
Exactly. He's right in there. It's going to be exciting. I'll tell you what, leading up to this tournament, I've never seen in my lifetime, and I asked Ray Floyd last night, he's 75 years old, a 76 Masters champion. I asked him the same question. In my lifetime, Chris, the buzz going in to this golf tournament was like I've never seen. And the players coming in, the world-class players, the best players in the world, you can name 12 of them that have won or that have been phenomenal this year, that have a chance to win this tournament is something I've never seen in my lifetime. And I asked Ray Floyd last night. I host some dinners for AT&T at the Masters, and I asked him last night his thoughts on that. He said he totally agreed with me. He said the only difference was back in my era, there wasn't 12 guys that were that good. There was a smaller right. group of guys. It was Nicholas, it was Trevino, it was Gary Player, and it was Jack. Those are the guys you had to be. Arnold Palmer back in his day. But not like this year where you have all these players that have played so well leading in. And that's why I think this Masters is going to be very, very exciting come Sunday. And
good start with you, Billy. We will talk to you tomorrow. We'll have some fun. We'll talk to you at the end of the show. Thanks very much. Appreciate it today.
All right, pal. Take care.
As usual, Mr. Andrade. We continue here on Mad Dog Unleashed.